cat and I play red. I'm old, I know, you don't have to tell me. But consequently, one of the things I grew up playing was the original Civilization games on the PC, which meant I grew up with tech trees and these huge sprawling charts telling me I need one thing to get another, which I guess at heart is the essence of Euro games. This is a game that uses a lot of that. I've posted my plays on Twitter and people have been talking about it, so I thought I'd do a video. So today we're going to have a look at Anno 1800. Designed by Martin Wallace, produced by Cosmos Games. This is actually based on a PC game, which I haven't played, so I can't make any comparisons to that. But let's have a look at how it plays. Starting a new community on your island is going to be hard work. With only a few workers, a few small industries and a couple of boats, you're going to try to turn your island into a bustling hub of industrialisation. This is one of those games that plays pretty quickly once you know what you're doing. Mostly because each player is only going to take one action in their turn. And while there are a ton of available actions to choose from, they're all pretty quick to do. So let's have a look at those actions. First thing we're going to look at is production and trading of goods. You're going to just place workers to produce a depicted resource. These are virtual goods. They don't exist anywhere other than on your board. So you're going to spend them on the same turn. You can also trade for goods with other players. Goods from other players will cost you trade tokens, depending on the type of population you need to produce the good. So if I'd blocked all my wood off here and I needed another wood, green worker only requires one trade token. So I'd exhaust this by just popping it to the side. I could take a wood from my opponent and they would gain a gold for allowing me to trade. So then simply you're just going to place your workers to get what you need. So let's have a quick look. Let's have some goods and an ore and take this brass. Now I can place over any of my existing smaller industries or place somewhere else on the board. Boatyards, we start with a single boatyard of a strength 1 here, have to go on the coast. Boats have to go in the water, but anything else can go anywhere else on your board. Boatyard that I start with here is a level 1, which means I can only produce level 1 boats. I can, over the course of the game, buy level 2 and level 3 boatyards, which will enable me to buy level 2 and level 3 ships. The second action we're going to look at is exploring the old world or the new world. To do this, you're going to exhaust your exploration tokens, which are these ones here. So currently I have no other land here. Oops, let's move these to this side. So I can pay 1 token to expand my board. So pop that, oops, there. And that actually means I immediately start with this industry. You can have up to 4 of these. Your first one is going to cost you 1 exploration token, your second one 2, and so on. You can also explore the new world with these tokens. So again, it would cost me 1 token and I'd take a new world board, which I'm going to pop there, which allows me access to these new goods. So I can pay a trade token to get any of these 3 goods. Whenever you pay exploration or trade tokens, pop them to the side of your board for now, and we'll explain why in a bit. You can increase your workforce. Producing the resources shown at the top, you can produce workers of that colour. So if I wanted another green worker, I just put one there and I've got the wood needed to provide me with an extra green worker. With the increased workforce action, you can place up to 3 new workers for the costs shown. Whenever you take a new worker, you're going to need to take a population card. So in this case, I produced a green worker. I'd take one of these green population cards. Obviously, if I took 3 green workers, I'd take 3 of those cards. You can also upgrade your workforce. Now, to upgrade your workforce, you need to pay this cost in the middle here. It's actually the difference in cost between the two. So if I wanted to upgrade my green to blue, gosh, I couldn't remember colour, I could pop 2 red there, upgrade these, and they become blue. In this case though, I don't take cards because I haven't gained any new workers, I've just upgraded them. The next action is to play or activate your population cards. Now, these are the base of the game. So I would need the resources shown at the top here, and I'd gain whatever's shown at the bottom there. So let's just cheat for a little bit and say I had this bakery and this brewery. Oops, put them the right way up helps. So let's pop them there. So I'm going to produce a bread and a beer to play this population card. Now this population card will give me a purple worker, so I pop that on my board. I'd take the matching population card and I'd play that. Now, because the effect's resolved, I'm just going to place it face down and that will get me points at the end of the game. So a lot of these will give you extra workers. Don't forget to draw the cards. Some will give you gold. Some will give you trade tokens. This one lets you upgrade workers, blue workers, and this lets you take cards. So all of these have different abilities, and these are critical to the game because when one player has played all of their cards, the game will go into the end phase. So always keep an eye on how many of these population cards people have in their hand. Also, as an action, you can swap cards. So if I didn't like some of these, let's say I didn't like these, I can put between 1 to 3 at the bottom of the deck and draw back. So I'm just swapping my cards for some other stuff to see if there's either something I can do or a reward that I like the look of. Oops, now I've got hundreds of cards. This will happen. You'll always have hundreds of cards in this game. You can also choose to draw exploration cards, which are these cards here. These will cost you 2 exploration tokens, and you just draw 3 of these. Have a look at them. These are information for you. Oops, upside down. But pop them just face down by the side of your board and you're going to score these at the end of the game. So I'm going to pop them there for now. The last available action is to celebrate a festival. So this is where you're going to get all your workers back. You can, over the course of the game, choose to spend gold to bring workers back if you want. So if I wanted to bring a red cube back, I could pay 3 gold to bring one back. I could pay 1 gold to bring 1 green cube back. Realistically, that's not very efficient. So if we were to celebrate a festival, all of our cubes come back up to the top and the tokens go back onto our ships that's the end of our turn, and we start afresh. Oops, I put that upside down as well. So let's have a look at a few turns and see how this works. Now, I cheated and I started with some stuff. So this card here needs bread and paper. I've got my bread. So I might want to look at getting the paper to complete this. Now, paper here needs cotton and wood. I've actually got cotton from here, so I can pay 1 trade token to get that, pay a wood, and take this. So I can choose where to put stuff on my board. I can even overlay stuff if I want. If you notice, I've got 2 availability for sale, so I'm actually going to pop that there. Then in my next turn, I can place a cube on there and a cube on there to play this card, which will give me a purple worker. So that one's played, take a purple worker, and I'm going to take a purple population card. So you're going to constantly be getting these cards. So let's have a look at what I might need. I've got a lot of cards that need soap or clothing, so I'm going to have a look at how to get soap. Soap here needs piggies and ore, so I'm going to go pigs and ore here. So that would be 1 turn. Oh, and take that. That would be 1 turn. Then in my next turn, is there something I can play now? I've got those things. No, I still need more stuff. So you can see how this ramps up and up. At the start of the board here, you have your more basic goods, moving on to the more complex goods here. So for example, for this coat, you're going to need sewing machine, you're going to need cloth, and you're going to need goods. For the sewing machine, you're going to need steel, brass, and to just dismiss a purple worker for the turn. So it's one of those where everything leads to something else, and the back of these player aids here actually show you all the available goods and what they need. Now, I do wish they'd done this as a tech tree, but they didn't, so you have to work it out yourself. The other side of this player guide does actually have all the different actions available to you. The end of the game is triggered when one player has played the last population card from their hand. Now, you've seen how many we start with. If I played this card, I'd end up taking 2 more. So it can be quite hard work. Sometimes you need to get rid of these in order to not be drawing more cards. But if I've played all my cards, I'm going to immediately take the fireworks token. We're going to play to the end of the round and then play 1 final round. Then you're going to move on to final scoring. You're going to score your population cards. Now you can see here, these are worth 3 points. The higher level ones are 8. And the New World ones here, you're going to collect when you pick up a New World board. Those are worth 5 points each. Then you're going to score your expedition cards. So let's have a look at the 3 I picked up. These have animals and museum artifacts on. What I'm going to do is pop any cubes I have that match the colours onto these cards. Don't have any turquoise, and score them. So I'd get 3 points for this card, 2 points for this card, and 1 for that card. You don't have to complete the card to score it. You just pop on what you've got available. Gold tokens, which you're going to have quite a few of because people are going to trade, you're going to get gold. These will give you 1 victory point for each 3 you have. The fireworks token is worth 7 victory points. And then you're going to score the objective cards. Now, there's a big stack of these, depending on the number of players, will depend on the number that you have available. So this one here, the player with the most expedition cards is going to get 10 points, then 4 points. If you have any of these resources available, they're going to get you 6 points, 6 points and 3 points. So keep an eye on these through the course of the game. This one here is actually a bit special. This, during the game, you can pay 3 expedition tokens and 3 gold to have an extra turn. So they do have some of these cards that are special in-game effects rather than end-game points. Add up the total points and the player with the most is the winner. Anno 1800 is not going to be a game for everyone. It's fairly dry, to be honest, and there is quite a bit going on, even though the basic actions are quite simple. There's a lot of cards. You potentially end up with really thick old stacks of cards that you're trying to get rid of. And the exploration cards, again, add more piles of cards. You've then got hundreds of tiles, well, not hundreds, but you know what I mean. So there is a lot of stuff in this game. If, like me, you grew up with the old school civilization games, your tech trees, I think it's something you'll like. I'm really enjoying this. The one thing I don't enjoy is the setup of all these tiles, because you can't put them all into individual bags. So when we break it down, we actually do it into 3 different bags to make it easier to pop them on the board. I have actually ordered an overlay for this board as well to try and keep these in place. We have cats walking over our boards, so it can get a bit chaotic at times. I really like this. It is very dry Euro, it's cube pushing, it's trading stuff for stuff for stuff to get more stuff, to be able to do stuff. But I really enjoy that. But I'm quite old school, so you tell me, if that is the sort of thing that you like, you're going to love this. If you want dramatic themes, and it's not the game for you. I was pleasantly surprised by this. I might even go away and have a look at the PC game. I don't know if it's still around or if it's one of the many things that was only available to play on Windows 95 or something. It's Anno 1800, designed by Martin Wallace, produced by Cosmos. It's available now. Check it out. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click like and subscribe and all that guff. Come and say hello on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at iPlayRed. I'll be at UK Games Expo in a couple of weeks. If you're there, come and say hello. I don't bite unless you ask nicely. See you next time. Bye.